Hey everyone, this is E-Man. Today I've got the pleasure of chatting with my buddy Paul Mansur here. And he's got an organization that's providing CIOs, but I got to tell you something. This entire corporate structure where they throw the alphabet soup at people. I always wanted to be a CIEIO, because I think it goes good with the song. But I've not had much respect for the higher ups because in our industry, networking, IT, the whole thing, it always seems the higher up you go, the dumber they are. So without starting this off on a negative note, please tell me, why is a CIO important? How do they actually impact an organization?
Well, first off, your new nickname's going to be Old McEmon or something like that because of that reference of EIEIO. So that was great. So I appreciate the joke. So thank you. I'll never look at this the same again. So I appreciate that. No, so really what we're offering is definitely not something new, but it's definitely something innovative that hasn't been out there. So what CIOs do is they help create new business opportunities within the organization. They help tailor new technologies or existing technologies, enhance processes, whether it's not only everybody thinks CIO and they're thinking information technology, or if you're in my business, you're thinking, let me call the CIO because that's going to be the decision maker and getting the technology in there. But that's not always the case. What they're trying to do is they're also trying to improve productivity, morale, giving back to the employees, time. There's so much value add to CIOs and what they provide. It's not just IT. Yes, there are drivers to the innovation and the technology that goes in there, but that's not all they do. So definitely, in other terms, I would basically say they're helping drive efficiencies in the organization, helping improvement, helping achieve corporate goals and objectives, and basically using their mindset and strategies to help the overall corporate objectives. So really, there's a lot of value in the alphabet soup known as the CIO.
So much of this also in our earlier discussion seems that, when you're talking about transformation, digital transformation, why is that tied in so closely to a CIO?
Because a CIO really drives the information technology part of the business and the information operations of the business. So basically what they do is from a holistic approach, they look at everything from a business operation perspective. What are they currently doing in the business? What are they not currently doing with the business? How is it currently functioning? And how can they work together to drive the innovation using technology to not only make efficiencies a lot easier internally, but also help expand business outward so it makes the user experience a lot easier. And then with the CIOs that we have, it also embraces what we do internally. We have a trademark process called DOME, which stands for Determine, Outline, Migrate, and Embrace. And that's exactly what CIOs do. They take a multi-level phase approach, very similar to our DOME proprietary process, and they look and they determine what is it that the business is using and how are they operating. They then outline with upper management, VPs, execs, C-level exec, board of directors, and come up with a process to improve efficiencies. Then with the current technologies, they have the processes in place or brand new technologies, brand new processes, technology is ever evolving and changing. You know that better than anybody. And basically they migrate everybody over to this new process that's been adapted, and then they embrace it. They embrace the technology. It helps embrace the customer set, the customer base to be more interactive with the company and to meet those corporate objectives and to make it a more user-friendly organization. So there's just a lot of value with the digital transformation that a CIO can deliver.
Mm-hmm. When they bring a tool like this in their mindset, though, how does it impact efficiency? And then when the folks that end up reporting up through this new CIO, do they have to worry about things like streamlining and automation? Does a CIO always mean somebody loses their job?
Say that last part again. I'm sorry, I broke up the last part. The CIO needs what? I'm sorry.
Does a CIO always mean that coming on board? Does that always mean somebody's going to lose their job?
Absolutely not. A CIO is here to help be part of the team, help grow the team, help enable the team, help power the team, help actually grow people within their organization and their team to become hopefully more self-reliant or actually work with him or her and actually enable the corporation to meet those goals and objectives. A CIO is not here to rip and replace. I would actually say that's actually the opposite. They're here to actually find the right processes and people to help meet those corporate objectives. So no, a CIO is like a glue. They're here to help be sticky with the organization, but they're also here to help expand and help create a culture of innovation and help create embodied teamwork, that's really what a true CIO is. And that's really what we truly believe here. And that's what we provide, are true CIOs that are here to meet the corporate objective and work as a team to help enable your organization.
I suppose then if you improve profitability, then that just means the opposite, hiring, huh? So,
Absolutely, right? If the top and bottom line goes up, it could only mean growth from there. So it's just adding jobs, adding new product, adding a product line. It can mean so many different things. Absolutely.
so if I take for a moment and put on a CIO's shoes,
Mhm.
what would you warn me of? What would be pitfalls, roadblocks, to innovation? I know sometimes people just hunker down. They like Windows for work groups, and they're not going to go to Windows 10. I mean, it only took 50 years to get there. But anyway, how can they bring solutions to the table? Who are the people that are their roadblocks? What do they have to work through? How does innovation come from one of these Martians and improve somebody's environment, their corporation? Do you know?
No, truly. So I believe that also starts with another three-letter word from the alphabet soup, is possibly the CEO or the COO or the CFO or a CXO or a CIEIO, as you would elaborate to it being,
The Avengers.
Never gonna
pull together the
the
Avengers.
event. We're assembling the Avengers, or if you want to even go further, since we are in the IT world of being a nerd, we're assembling the Infinity Stones of Thanos, and we're getting ready to assemble the Avengers and take over the world with a snap and change the world, hopefully for the better this way. No, so really, so going back to this, the CIO really needs help with the vision of everybody having his or her backing. For them to drive innovation, a truly valued CIO won't sit there and just look at technology and say, hey, we need to go Cisco, we need to go Nutanix, we need to go this, and this, whatever it may be. They're looking at the core problem, and they're looking at the core scenario. They're looking at the objective. They're not looking at the problem that's right in front of them. They're looking beyond the problem. They're looking at what is the solution. And again, it may be what they currently have in place. It may be changing some things. It may be just changing some policies and routes. It may be just driving innovation to the cloud. It may be so many different things. So really having an open mindset and having the whole backing of the corporation behind the CIO, or in line with the CIO as a team. Like the CIO needs to be in line with everybody else, and the same thing for him or her. That's really what's going to set it apart, to really bring the success of the CIO to the corporation, and to really drive digital transformation, to provide that innovation, to provide potentially AI, and to really change the user experience for the company, so that they're getting those 5-star Google reviews and people wanting to do business with them because they're hearing all these great things about what that company is doing.
So do CTOs and CIOs end up arm wrestling often? Or are they truly a team? Or do you find organizations with one or the other?
I would say most organizations usually have one or the other. It doesn't mean that they can't. I mean, look, everybody fights in an organization, so there's always going to be riffing and battling. I mean, you and I could have an argument right here, right now, So I mean, anybody that says that will be lying. So I do think a CIO and a CTO definitely have differentiating opinions. One looks strictly at the technology, whereas the information officer is typically looking at the process and the policies, as well as in conjunction with technology. So depending on the organization, there could be a way of having both, depending on the organization. I think in a place where you're developing an application for an end user, that might be a chief technology officer, and the CIO might be, how is the user going to be, gaining experience with this application? How are we getting out to the world, and what is the processes internally to keep running the application? Where the CTO might be working on just developing that application for their product and their solution of their organization. So really, I think a CIO provides the best of both worlds, depending on the situation, depending on the company, depending on the organization. So there's really no right or wrong answer. It just depends on the company. But just like anywhere in life, there could always be some rifting, and there could always be some battle axing and some headbutting, or whatever you want to call it. Or some fights in the farm, since we're using farm analogies. But I think in the end, everybody's going to play nicely in the pig pen, and we should all be good to go. But I think it'll be fine.
So I have looked at organizations. As you know, I support a whole lot of channels, VARs, resellers, and a lot of small organizations. And for the most part, from 35 to 100 employees are the companies that benefit the most from using my services, right? Because they're growing, they need these people, and people are like capital. They really are. The average CCIE, for example, is earning over $2 million for their employer, right? So what's the magic number for a CIO, and what makes them so damn good?
I really don't think there is a magic number. I think, again, it falls back to the company. I think it's just driving the value. It depends on the innovation. It depends on the organization. It's hard for me to give you that ROI number. In terms of user count for a CIO, I think it could vary any company from, let's just say, 50 users upwards to, enterprise levels like the Norwegian Cruise Lines of the world and the Fortune 100 companies. So I think everybody plays nicely. It just depends. So I really think there is no set value for a CIO. It just really depends on the organization and then what that sweet number is in terms of what is their ROI. I think in the end, when they see the bottom line and the top line improving, they're going to pay for themselves, if not more. So I think it's really hard to give you an intrinsic value of what would pay for themselves in comparison to the analogy you provided with a CCIE. I wish I could, but I think it's kind of hard to say.
I've had to make a science out of this struggle, my friend. But tell me this, a lot of folks that I know, and I would like to give them some of your information. So tell us,
Please.
How do I engage you? How do I get my clients to contact you? And how do they get a CIO from you?
Absolutely. So first off, I say start by contacting you directly because, man, you know where to find me. You know where to find me at all times of the day and night. So we know where to find each other for years. So I would say definitely start by engaging you first and foremost. And then we could definitely send you some information that you could pass on to your clients and to your social media presence so that they know how to engage with us to know is this a right fit for us, right? Because I think everybody sees this as, well, it's a long-term engagement, but our CIOs are not just here for a long-term engagement. It could be just for an acquisition. It could be for a merger. It could be for so many different things. It could be just very much like a CCIE. We need them for an hourly engagement to look over a couple of things and get their expertise. It could be a block. It could be a fixed price. It could be, we just need this person here and they're going to be in your payroll, but they're going to be part of your team no matter if it's for 1 hour, if it's for 1 year, for 1 week, one decade, whatever it may be. So definitely you can find information on our CIOs on our soon-to-be revamped website at www.nxgentech.com, spelled NXTGENTECH.com. Also, please follow us on LinkedIn on our social media presence, which I'll share with everybody so that you can see some information about us and the value that our CIOs deliver. But I would definitely say reach out to Iman directly, and I'm sure he'll put you in contact with us directly.
Hallelujah, brother. Well,
no pressure, Iman.
this is a good time for goodbye. So let's bring this one to an end. When we do the publish of the posting of this video, I will make sure to include all contact information and details to your website. So let's give the audience a hearty goodbye, my friend.
Sounds great. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Look forward to meeting you all, and make sure to start the hashtag #OlmecIman. That's going to be the new hashtag we're going to start as of this conversation.
CIEIO, brother. This has been great. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to working this with you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Look forward to working with you.